Hi, my name is Christine, and I know some of you may recognize me from Sunday service. I'm here to tell you a horrible, horrible tragedy that I survived. On October 9th, 2004, it was any other normal day. I was out with my horses, and I had planned for me and my mom to take my 14-month daughter, Kimberly, to the Zubu in Lower Park Zoo. So we headed down State Road 54 and decided to get gas later. On the way down 54, Kimberly was getting a little fussy as we were running late and she missed her nap. So I unbuckled myself and I turned around and I gave her a musical book to calm her down. As I was turning back around, I noticed a red blur. I called out to my mom. It said, "Watch out." That red blur was an SUV coming off of a side road. And before I know it, it T-boned us. All I remember is spinning and spinning and spinning until we collided with a tree. Instantly, my body was in shock and I could not move. I called out to my mother, "Are you okay?" And she said, "Yes, I'm okay." Kimberly's okay too. She slept right through it. And as when it hit and I told her, "Mom, Kimberly wasn't sleeping," I was finally able to start moving again, and I turned around to see Kimberly limp and blue in the face. And luckily, bystanders and oncoming traffic had stopped and helped us. They took Kimberly out to the side of the road and began CPR on her. We waited for EMS to arrive, and as we were waiting, I was so wrapped up in my own thoughts and my own surroundings that I didn't even think about asking what happened to the other driver. I was helicoptered over to St. Joseph's, and Kimberly went by ambulance to the nearby hospital to be stabilized. When I was on that helicopter, I asked the EMS what happened to the other driver, and the only thing he told me was that she got out and ran by foot. Later on, Kimberly was transported to the same hospital at St. Joseph's with me, and for 3 long days, we battled and battled and battled until the doctor told me she was brain dead. I opted to pull her off the machines and let her die in my arms, where she survived for 2 minutes. That was the hardest day of my life. This is Kimberly. This is 3 weeks before she passed away. For years, I went through a roller coaster of emotions, of guilt, jealousy, anger, hate, and nothing could describe what I was living. We went through about a year of court dates with this woman. Her name was Robin. And we found out that she was driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol. While we were in court, I remember me and my mom, we felt so alone because there was many, many, many people on Robin's side of the courtroom and nobody on our side. And it just made us feel so alone. And then one day, a lady that was also friends with Robin came up to me and confided in me. She was very nice. And I just tried to block out the fact that she was friends with Robin. And we became very close. Close enough to the point where once in a while I would actually even ask if Robin was okay. About a year after we were going to court, Robin was sentenced to 2 10-year, 8-month sentences. One for DUI, manslaughter, and the other one for leaving a scene with an injury. I thought that I had wanted Robin to get life, but that was enough for me at that point, even though nothing could take place of my daughter. No sentence was going to ever be enough to take her place. After a while, me and Peggy, when we became really close, we used to hang out all the time, and she would tell me how she'd visit Robin in prison. And I was okay with that. Again, I just kind of blocked out the fact that they were friends because it hurt so much. But she was a good friend to me, and she helped me get through this loss of mine. Robin served 9 years, and she got out September of 2014. And she was back in Tampa, she was back in Tampa just 30 minutes from me. I had mixed feelings about that. I didn't know what to think knowing that she lived so close by because I didn't know if she had changed or what was going on in her life. I had a lot of thinking to do when it came to Robin being out of prison. I had a lot of hurt inside me and a lot of hate still. And that was the last thing I wanted for myself, was to hold on to that burden. I decided to pray and pray and pray one day, and I came to a big decision. I wanted to meet Robin. I met Robin in January 2015 in a counselor's office with our dear friend Peggy. When I saw her, I got very nervous and I didn't know how to react. And when I sat down in front of her and the counselor told us that I can say whatever I needed to say, when those words, "I forgive you, Robin," came out of my mouth, I felt a big weight lifted off my shoulders as we both teared up. I asked her if I could hug her. She took something so dear from me, but yet she was so important to me. All I wanted to do was stand up and hug Robin, and we did, and we cried together. We took pictures, and we went out to lunch after that. And we talked and talked and talked, and to this day, we still talk. We go shopping together, we have lunch together, we pray together, and we check up on each other at least once a week if we don't hear from each other. This is a story about God's testimony, and we are the faces of it. And it's for us to share with all of you. This isn't the end of a tragedy, but the beginning of a new story of friendship and sisterhood. Forgiving Robin was the best thing I could have ever done in my life. As much as I miss my dear Kimberly, forgiveness is the story of my life.